First of all, I want to thank you all so much for being here today. This is a special occasion, and I am so honored to be here and to be a part of this. We are honoring a very special lady who represents a very special group of ladies. And to thank the Commemorative Air Force for allowing us to do this ceremony in this wonderful space. I can't think of a better place to do this. Standing in front of a PT-19, which is one of the aircraft that Ruth actually flew. Thank you to the CAF. You guys are awesome. This is a beautiful, beautiful hangar. Last year, the National WASP World War II Museum nominated the WASP of Texas for induction into the Texas Aviation Hall of Fame. And then we had a letter writing campaign of support. And we sent in letters for several months. And finally, they decided that, yes, indeed, it was time that the WASP were honored. So November the 13th is when they had the induction ceremony at Lone Star Flight Museum in Galveston. But today we're here to honor Ruth Florey. She is from Odessa, and I believe, just in looking at Ruth and knowing Ruth, today we're here to celebrate courage and honor and integrity, determination, patriotism. And when I think of all those words, I think of Ruth. I also think of family, and I think of faith, and I think of a legacy that she leaves that's extraordinary. She is one woman, but she also represents 1,102 women Air Force service pilots. These pioneering women flew in less than 2 years. They flew every type of aircraft on every type of mission in the United States Army Air Force, except combat. They trained and earned their wings every single WASP in Texas. And there's no better representative to me than this lady we honor today, Ruth Florey. She was born in Brownwood, Texas, and learned to fly in Texas, and was a member of the WASP Class 43-4. She earned her wings in 1943, just down the road a piece, at Avenger Field in Sweetwater, Texas. During her WASP career, and Ruth, I'm going to read these, she flew the PT-19, which is right behind me here, the BT-13, the AT-6, the AT-11, the A-24, the A-25, the B-34, and the PQ-8. Ruth was a tow target pilot and was stationed at Camp Davis, North Carolina, as her first assignment. And I think if you could be sent to the worst place in the world to fly, it would be Camp Davis, North Carolina. There were 3 WASP killed at that base. I'm not sure that the commanding officer really believed women could fly, and he sure made every effort to have them leave his base, but Ruth stuck it out. When we asked her why, she didn't ask for a transfer. She said, if you ask for a transfer, you got sent home. We did our job with no regrets. And to me, Ruth is courageous, and she's one of my heroes. So I'm really delighted to do this today. After the WASP, she married and raised 4 children. And how many grandchildren? 12? And working on more? And 7 great-grandchildren. Wow. She's also been a tireless volunteer for the CAF. She has given speeches and talks to kids at their aviation boot camps and been responsible for many of their oral histories in their oral history collection program, and also encouraging other veterans to share their stories. She didn't just make history, she's trying to help preserve it. I think we're also here to celebrate the fact that she is a role model. I'm sure if I ask her kids, is she your role model, I'd get a big yes. I'm sure the grandkids feel the same way. You can't meet Ruth and not feel that way. And as a symbol of that, what we're going to do now, Ruth, I'm going to ask Lieutenant Colonel Wilkins to come up here as a symbol of the role model that you were to him to present you with your award. He is a veteran fighter pilot with over 100 missions in Vietnam. He was born in Colorado City in 1931. When he was 12 years old, he would hitchhike 28 miles down the road, the dusty road, to Avenger Field, and he would stand in the hot West Texas sun on a 2-strand barbed wire fence and watch the WASP trainees fly the airplanes. Until today, Clay had only met 1 WASP. Ruth is the 2nd WASP he has met. And as Clay has said, and he will say, these women are his inspiration. They are role models. They helped a young boy dream big dreams. He went on to head the Texas Aviation Agency and the Aviation Department for Texas State Technical College, and was the Associate Director of the Aviation Sciences Department for Baylor. So,
Ruth, this is a pleasure, and I'm absolutely thrilled. That summer in 1943 that I made a few trips over there hitchhiking, you might remember it as being real cool and very little wind and very little sand.
Where was that?
Well, it wasn't like that when I... On Pearl Harbor Day, I was just barely 10, and I wanted to be a fighter pilot worse than anything in the world. You don't see many fighter pilots around Colorado City. So I made my way to Avenger Field to see people training to fly military aircraft for the Army, for the United States. And you gutsy ladies really did inspire me. And as soon as the Korean War came along, I joined and I became a fighter pilot and did it for 20 years. I am pleased to put this on you. I don't think there's anybody in this state more deserving to be in the Texas Aviation Hall of Fame than WASP. Thank you.
Glowing things are said about me. I may not be able to get a hat on yet. I appreciate y'all coming, and I particularly appreciate him. If I'd known he was on that fence, I'd have waved at him. Our float Lord scared him off. Thank you.